Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video today regarding the changes being made to Destiny 2 next season that were outlined in the TWAB that was given to us yesterday. So I assume most of you heard the news on the last TWAB about the changes being made to bring PC recoil to console and controller levels. Most people's initial take on this was pure surprise and then probably some confusion. I've even seen some Redditors that were on consoles complaining about this change as well, regardless that they don't even use M&K. I think this change is probably a terrible idea, due to the fact that controllers have aim assist, which allows them to stay on target without the need for raw skill to do the tracking. This also combats recoil, as the reticle stays on the target more than it would if you were shooting at a wall. On PC we don't have that, and for a good reason. We have to track and do everything with raw skill. That is why we have little recoil. There is some recoil, yes. But if they're trying to balance this for crossplay, this is definitely not the way to go. Maybe they should have brought controllers to 10% less, as opposed to giving PC a 20% increase in recoil, which is 30% in total. Why not reduce the controllers by 10%, as I said, because it improves the play for controllers and doesn't affect the PC community, it just benefits console players. I know controllers are very strong right now. I've used a controller in right teams, and I don't see why nerfing M&K will do us any good. Controllers may as well become the main players if this nerf is ending up being way too much for most people. I have a friend who plays with a controller on PC, and he's very good with it. He destroys teams. This nerf to M&K will just make it virtually worse than a controller. Controllers also have infinite ability to drag down to control recoil. Us on M&K, we do not. We have limited space before we have to relocate the mouse to the center and continue from there. That is why we don't have a ton of recoil on here. This nerf, as I said previous, is technically a 30% increase from what we currently have. It's going to bring M&K from 60% recoil to 80% recoil. It's going to be a huge change throughout PvE and PvP. So many things are going to be much less useful to most of this player base. Another issue I have about this is that crossplay should never be forced on any player. Destiny 2 already has a stable, large player base across the board on all platforms, so crossplay isn't some last-ditch effort for them to regain a population for their game. With the recoil changes, it's appearing to us that we will be forced for crossplay instead of an opt-in option like most games currently have. Player choice is key. That's my opinion, but I believe it's key. So why increase the recoil across the board for almost all M&K primary options when some players don't even want to play with console players? What did we have to gain from this balance, quote-unquote balance change? Nothing. Another thing is, I've played nearly 1,500 hours in this game. That's 1,500 hours of learning and muscle memory. Starting next season, it'll be absolutely worthless. But back on the crossplay track. They shouldn't have changed anything on either to see if the game would actually be balanced when crossplay is enabled. Maybe they should have tested it with us, given us crossplay with no balance changes in a specific mode that doesn't make us lose anything. It's just for testing. Then we can see what it will be like. Hopefully they can realize this issue and stop nerfing or stop attempting to nerf the entire M&K community, but I guess we'll have to see. Maybe they should take notes from the community for once, but who knows. Like I said, we should have the non-competitive playlist at first to do testing so we don't lose anything, and then Bungie can actually take data from then and see what to do. I would prefer they didn't nerf M&K and change everything on us, but we'll have to see how that goes. But all I do know is Bungie doesn't seem to test anything, and that's in the TWAB they say that it's hard to see what it'll be like until it's live next season, and this kind of confirms my suspicions about them not testing anything. Lastly, in the points I'm bringing up, is this nerf all mentality Bungie has had on Destiny 2. Whenever something becomes meta, they nerf it instead of bringing other things up to power, if it's not meant to be the meta for that season. I do understand power creep is a thing, and theoretically, if they buff everything will get too powerful. But Bungie's only fix has ever been to nerf something or remove it from the game for the time being. Crossplay is going to forcibly combine player bases. Nerf M&K because it's strong, apparently. Why would we buff consoles? Exactly, that's what Bungie thinks. It's the way Bungie has always done everything, and I understand weapon and buff nerfs, but nerfing an input method, what the actual fuck? It's an entire community that's just getting nerfed. Never have I seen a game nerf a specific player base or a community that they have. This, I feel, is going way too far. For 3+ years, we have had the same muscle memory, which has allowed us to hone our skills and use many different weapons. And as I've heard, on consoles, much of these weapons we have and can use are much less viable because of the recoil. So why bring that over to PC? Instead of buffing consoles slightly to give them a more enjoyable experience, make it better for everyone. Console players will get somewhat up to our level, they'll still keep their aim assist and all of that stuff that they currently have because they can't compete with the fast movements. But why not bring that up for them so that they can use more and enjoy what we have? Make it a better game. Isn't the purpose of this game to be fun? It just seems like Bungie doesn't know what to do on a small scale with things, and now they've brought it up to a big scale and just fucked us all. And yes, I am pissed about this, but I want to see Destiny 2 soar and become a better game for all. Not worse for some, as in the PC M&K community. It just makes little sense to me as a longtime Destiny gamer. It also saddens me that Bungie would even consider a nerf to a community that has invested so much in this game. Like either community, console, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Why? It's a community. Leave that alone. Find another way to do it. Maybe do a buff to a community. That would be so much better. But never I thought would I see the day or even be making this video. I was hoping to just get working on my Hawkmoon meme edit video as I'm doing right now. And in the middle of that, this is what I get. It's not fun. It also sucks that I did buy the season pass thinking I would play this entire year, but it looks like it might be a waste of money depending on how this goes. I guess I'll see. But Bungie has some work to do and they need to listen to their community. Hopefully they can realize they're wrong in this, but we'll have to see on that. I'd like to thank you all for watching today, and I would like to see what all of you think about this change that will be coming. Let's get some good conversation going on, nothing rude. Let's get actual constructive conversation, ideas, and what you think. So, yeah, thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.